Now, practice number 4 out of my 6 spiritual practices is called see the 3D world as an effect. This is an interesting one. Just like the thinking from the end, this is sort of like a mental mind game a little bit. So let me explain a little bit about the relationship between the inside and the outside. So these practices is based on the assumption of universal law of cause and effect, universal law of perpetual transmutation of energy. So your outside life events occur based on your inside energetics. Energetics is your body's feeling. Your body's feeling at the subconscious level is often formed through our thinking. And there are part of the subconscious feeling that is nested that comes from our early childhood, and we start sort of vibrating in a certain state. And depending on how the energetics are vibrating, you attract the outside circumstance. So people have this set point of based on their self-image or the concept of themselves, what they can do, what kind of decision they make, not make, what they choose to, who they choose to become, right? Not many people choose to become Olympic athletes. Not many people choose to become a professional singer. Not many people choose to become whatever, and what they choose to become, decide to become, is based on the concept of self, how they see themselves in the world. And they see the potentiality. If you don't see yourself, the potentiality, you don't even attempt to begin exploring that option, right? So the inside is the cause of the outside. So every single circumstance that we encounter, every single environment that we're surrounded by, can we begin seeing that those as an after effect of our inside cause, which is the energy, which is the feeling that comes from our thinking and the subconscious feeling. So when you understand that, and let's take a moment to sort of begin thinking about how you're living day to day. You wake up in the morning, and this is what Joe Dispenza said, right? You get roll off to the same side, and then you do the routine the same way, and then the same person push your reactive button, right? And many people live in a default mode. In the outside world, most people just meet on a moment to moment, but they don't have the perspective that the outside that they're experiencing right now is an after effect of the inside energy that we were entertaining a little bit ago. Because this is gestation period. Let me explain the gestation period. So when you have a desire, and when you entertain your mind using your visual, and when you start feeling that fulfillment of the desire, and when you're living as if you're already there, and then when you take action, moving into action, following all these intuitive hit and responding to all the synchronicities, and then you start unfolding your life, that takes a little bit time, right? Until you make a commitment decision to live in that energy, until that shows up in the physical form. In the subtle energy, in your feeling, in the subconscious level, you can go there immediately. But from that to begin manifest in the physical form, until that thing that you are desiring manifest and arrive in your physical form, it takes a little time. That's called gestation period, right? The waiting period is gonna be there. So what if you begin looking at every single moment as that, right? So what that really means is that if you encounter some sort of contrast and negativity that you do not appreciate, you don't want to let that situation impact your feeling inside, because if you do so, you're now reversing the order of making the cause that is your inside an effect by reacting to the outside effect, changing that into cause. Let me explain that again, because that might have been puzzling a little bit. So we want to practice living as a cause of the circumstance. That's just what the practice is, right? So if you choose to be the cause, we do not want to let the outside contrast, what appears to be negative, impact our inside feeling negatively. Because if you let the outside contrast impact our inside, we start feeling negatively contracted and non-expansive resisting. Then voila, you're now demonstrating the cause of another contrast to show up in your life, right? So this is a little tricky. What you can appreciate and what makes you feel expansive and fulfilling, you want to take in all of those, right? The nature that feels good, the hugs or the conversation, all of those you can take it all in, because if it's serving you and feeding you, you want to create more of those. When something that appears to be negative shows up in your life, that's when we begin firmly understanding that that is showing up because of some sort of historical internal energetics that I have demonstrated subconsciously, because we are not consciously wanting to manifest what feels painful, right? And we want to suspend it. Suspend it. How do we suspend that? There are different ways. One way is to have the awareness that that negativity is only going to help you to turn your attention to more of what you want and desire, right? So every single time, actually, I created a video. I think the title was Contrast as the Gateway. I think that was even the second video that I created, right? So if you want to know a little bit more in detail about that, search Contrast as a Gateway on my YouTube channel and it will show up. So whenever you see something occasional that appears to be negative, you want to use that to serve us to wake up into who we are more, by turning away from the negativity and to focus on what is it that you want more of, and putting the energy more into what we can nurture. So when you see a contrast, it is an opportunity, a reminder to go back to nurture our feeling, fulfillment of the desire internally through our imagination and through our feeling more. Yeah, so you want to use the contrast as that. And to really understand that that was the effect of my past cause, then you go back to, okay, this is more of the cause that I want to create, to use that to nurture our inside. Does that make sense? I don't think I have anything else to explain actually. This is a simple practice. So seeing the 3D world as an effect means to not to entertain the outside negativity and look at that as a catalyst and the feedback to turn our attention inward, so we can more nourish our inside cause of what we're going to create in the outside effect. And when we reverse that, we will continue to create the effect that we don't want by letting the outside negativity to impact ourselves. So can we see today as the outside as an after effect? Because every single situation, circumstance, consequence that we are surrounded by, if you choose to see that you're causing, you're in full control of it. But if you fail to see that you are causing, you will forever be in this victim role of why this is happening to me, and you will not have any control of shifting. Which one would you like? I would choose to be in control by looking at myself as the cause of the outside effect. So there you have it, 3D as an after effect. Enjoy the practice and let me know if you have any comment, questions, and I'll see you in the next video.